Hello everyone, and today I got to see the movie Zootopia, which I remember seeing the trailer for this when I was seeing Star Wars. I'm just like, I don't know how this is going to be like, because the trailer didn't win me over. Oddly enough, even though a lot of people loved the trailer with the sloth, so I'm just like, oh boy. So I went into this movie kind of hesitantly. I'm just like, but I started hearing some really great reviews. And then I checked the Rotten Tomatoes, and this said it's the most critically acclaimed movie of the year so far. So I'm just like, okay, I'll give this a chance. So I went to see it. I dragged my dad with me. And again, I went to go into this film with my glass half filled full. I was really impressed by this movie. It was fucking great. It was so good. The scenarios in this movie are wildly creative, wildly unique, wildly funny, and well done. Essentially, the story for this movie is Lieutenant Judy Hopps in this movie basically the movie takes place in this futuristic metropolis type of place called Zootopia, and essentially Judy Hopps, voiced by Jennifer Goodwin. In this movie, she dreams of making it big, changing the world, by being a police officer. She starts off as being a meter maid, and eventually she comes across the character of Nick Wilde, and somehow with this big, monster type of gangster feeling centered story, weirdly, watching it dips into the storyline of kind of like this monster feel to it, but it's essentially a buddy cop movie, but has elements of everything in it. It has gangster feel. There's a gangster feeling to it, which is one of my favorite jokes in the movie. And essentially, she gets wrapped into this kind of like this missing case of all these predatory animals being missed. And of course, in the futuristic world, natural predators like lions, tigers, bears, wolves, hawks, all those type of meat-eating animals and non-meat-eating animals that live together in utility, and it's like all peace, love, and harmony like that. But things are chaos, as in typical world would be. So the main chief of this police squad, voiced by Idris Elba in the movie, tells G. Hopkins to investigate the cause. The ropes in Jace Bateman's character, named Nick Wilde, voiced greatly by Jason Bateman, in the movie, of course. I'm losing myself. Alright, keep it together. And essentially, they go through ropes and ropes of just how great this movie is. And I love this movie. I genuinely love it. It's probably, in my opinion, the best Disney movie. Last year, in my opinion, we didn't have that great. I didn't like Inside Out. The Good Dinosaur wasn't universally loved. So anyway, this is the most creative, the most unique, thought-provoking, well-made, and flat-out fascinating worlds. Kids movie since the Lego Movie, in my opinion. And it really creates this really unique, vivid, interesting, layered world that the more you think about it, the more clever it is, the more well done it is. And there's such an interesting lore to it, like how they became animals, like they don't say whatever happened to humans. They're like, well, animals evolved into the state of mind like humans. They live in society, their mannerisms. They act like humans, even though they have their animal mannerisms, like, a bunny will be or you see a rhino get really charged up, or any type of natural animal reaction that you would see. And it's really fascinating how they do that. The buddy cop story, which I'm not a fan of. To be honest, I don't like any buddy cop movies aside from pretty much Lethal Weapon. Almost none of them I don't like. And this is the best buddy cop movie I've seen in a long time. It has almost everything. It has action, it has adventure, it has drama, it has friendship. But there's also buddy cop in this movie. There's adventure, but there's also a mob feeling to it at times. But also, at other times, it feels like there's a political I won't say correctness to it, but political righteousness to it. And it gets such a motivating, great feeling inside of you that really wants to speak out in a great way. The voice cast in this movie is fantastic. You got this great gazelle celebrity character voiced by Shakira, who is fantastic. And the song in this movie is amazing. I love that song. You have J.K. Simmons as Mayor Lionheart, which had me laughing my ass off in the movie. That I thought that was a great name, and he was great in the role. We also got Tudyk as Duke Wilson in this movie, and he was great. Just flat out, the animation was wonderful, and above all things, the story is, I wouldn't say it's formulaic, but you know what it is. It's a buddy cop movie, and if you've seen any buddy cop movie, you kind of know the routes. Like, they'll be, of course, they'll go hesitant together. There'll be strong turmoil. There'll be one betraying one another. One of them being brainwashed. One of them saying, "I give up." And so it has that typical, I'll be honest, that typical buddy cop feel to it with certain plot points within the movie, and you may say it's a bit predictable because of that. But in the end, you really believe it was such a unique, well-made, in-depth world with such cool, colorful, fleshed out, unique, vivid characters that really are great. I love Judy Hopkins in this movie. She was freaking adorable. I just wanted to hold her in my arms, just be like, little bunny. I just melded every time I saw her. She was so adorable. And you got Jason Bateman, once she sees uptight, but she's very determined. She's very determined. She's very tenacious. She's not going to give up because she's such a passion and a love for being a police officer. She wants to be a police officer. She wants to be the thing that she always grew up that she believed that she could be, which I think is an excellent thing. Is like the parents are 100% supportive. They're like, "Honey, if you want to be this, then we're here for you. We'll always be with you. No matter what happens, we'll always be by your side." And I think that's a great lesson for a movie to say that and to follow your dreams. Even though there's the movie is hysterical. Weirdly enough, there's that one scene which advertised the hell out of is that bank teller scene with all that sauce. Everyone was laughing in those trailers. Everyone was laughing in the theater, except me. I honestly did not find it funny. I was like, yeah, it's a little funny, they're slow. What else do you have to offer? It's just honestly not that funny to me. And it may sound cruel and callous, and I have a feeling that people who are watching right now will want to kill me and crucify me for saying that. But I'm sorry, I just didn't find the sauce that funny. Although there was a few scenes with the sauce that is not funny, especially in the end with the Fast Driver. If you see that Fast Driver, then that is a great moment. But I just didn't find the bank scene that funny. I mean, the theater was 100% full, and everyone was laughing, and I was sitting here kind of going, "This is a little funny, but really, that's the punchline to it. It's just slow. We know slots are slow. What's the point to that? What's the joke there?" I don't know. I just didn't laugh at that scene, to be honest. And it may sound just not sure. Although, the scene where they parody The Godfather, and weird enough, they do Godfather reference in the kids' movie, had me laughing my butt off so much. That was, for me, the funniest scene in the movie. I couldn't hold myself together. I was dying too hard. And there's a scene where they're trying to break into this big tower type of place that they're investigating towards, and a bunch of the security guards are wolves, and they set, and Judy Hopkins, she imitates a wolf howl, and they're like, one was just like, "Oh," it's like, "Shut up." It's like, cuts off a chain, and they just start doing it. It's like, "Oh, we can't help but do that." And that was hilarious. I love that scene. That was truly funny. There's so many funny moments in this movie. Aside from the one scene that I don't think is that funny, really. But in the end, that's just the one scene that I did not find funny. This movie was just so wildly creative and so wildly fascinating. I love how this film was very much the ratio. It's not like the same height of a. The ratio size is brilliant. I love how it wasn't like a mouse was the same size of an elephant. It was like, the mice are the same size and shape as a mice should be, like this big. An elephant is extremely tall. They show that extremely tall with the ways that they incorporate society into their factors. Same thing with elephants and many, many other animals. And I thought it was so wildly creative. The world, I just thought, was so fascinating and so well done and so good. And another major props I have to give to the writers for this film is that it was consistently entertaining and unpredictable. And I will say it will have formulaic. It may have a formulaic layout like a buddy cop movie. You may know the routines, and I will not lie to you. There's a couple of moments like that, but still the heart and the passion and the execution are so well done. You're gonna see it because of that. I forgot where I was going with that now. Forget it. But as a whole, I was like the way incorporated, like I said before, the way they incorporated society into the animal factors is so fascinating, so well done. The world I thought was so fleshed out. Jennifer Goodwin is so. She's so tenacious and strong-willed. She's not dying. She won't stop until she gets what she wants, which is just to be a police officer and make Zootopia greater by adding another cop. And she's the first mouse to do it. And the way you incorporate today's societies with this world is like, oh god, like they incorporate the idea is like, oh, we got our first mouse. No, not the first mouse. The first rabbit cop. They're like, oh, they're gonna screw it up. And it's like, oh, certain people are fast drivers, some people are slow drivers. And it shows the prejudice of that. It shows the racial profiling of that in a weird way, but it's not as mature or, as obvious as it would be. But it's done, well, it's a kid's movie. You can't expect it to go falling out for that perspective. They're going to play to a certain funny degree, which is kind of good. I think it's a good way to show the kids this world that you're in to grow up to become is not perfect, and we are showing the imperfections of our world in this movie. And it also shows how smart and sophisticated animals have become, and yet they're reflecting humans in that perspective. It's like they're animals. It's like, of course, they're animals in this position, like, as mayors, as police officers, as law enforcers, as bankers, all that. And yet they're still animals at core. They always bring out the point of there's going to be, well, with the predators at least, there's going to be moments where they will break and they will have an outrage. And I'm like, that's true for predators, but I'm like, but isn't that also true for the non-predators? And yet they bring it up later. It's like, it's not just predators who have that breaking point, and when they get insane, it's like non-predators will have that. And they show their inner animalistic routes of they will have a breaking point, and they will break, and they will not be able to contain themselves when they are that angry. And I think that really shows into the more animalistic, barbaric side of themselves. So it shows just how far animals have become with humans, how smart and sophisticated and clever animals can be, but also how animalistic and barbaric humans have become. So it kind of holds this reflection of mirror to a society, but us as animals. It's like, oh, the mayor or the president of somewhere can be reflected from the Lionheart, character voiced by J.K. Simmons in this movie. And it's just very clever like that, and I was really nice. At this point, I'm really reading into the film, but I thought it was so fascinating. Yeah, I think I should at this point wrap it up. Is there anything I didn't like? I will say it does have its typical formulaic points. It is a little predictable, but then again, it's like for everything I say is predictable, there's something in the film that really just throw me off the loop. It has its formulaic moments, I will say that. And this was just in my perspective. I'm not sure if anyone else shares the same thing, but I found the first 5-7 minutes a little hard to swallow. it's like, oh, here's a world, and they're showing through a school play of how they show how this world came to be, which I thought was creative. But for the first 5-10 minutes, I'm like, this is a bit hard to swallow. I'm like, it's a little too on the nose, I will say, in my opinion. But once it shifts into Zootopia, I think it's almost an incredible film from there. And out of that alone, I think it's a Marvel film. And I don't mean like a Marvel, I don't mean like that. I mean like it's a Marvel film. It's an excellent film. And in my opinion, it's the best Disney movie since Frozen. It really is. And I love this movie. I may not love this movie as enough. For me, I probably like this movie a little bit more than Frozen, but not as of this modern era of Disney films. I probably like this movie a little bit more than Frozen, but not enough as Wreck-It Ralph, which is probably my favorite animated movie in a good while. But in the end, I absolutely adored Zootopia. It's a very unique, clever, fascinating world with incredible acting, a really fascinating, cool plot, cool, encouraging, colorful, well-done characters, and as a whole, you felt this birth, this enigma, this big bang of such a creative idea. And I don't know if it's based off of a novel or anything. If you can correct me all you want on that. But if it's not based on anything, then I'll say this film is freaking brilliant. And to me, it's one of the best movies. It's top 3 best movies of the year so far. This, Kung Fu Panda 3, and Deadpool. 3 of the best movies of the year, in my opinion, so far. By the way, another credible thing I want to say is that, especially for the writers, is that I saw this movie 100% full. Not a seat was sold. Not a seat was empty. And all the kids who were like under the age of 12 was really filming, which I felt very out of place, really. Well, I was just put that, whatever. Every single kid was glued to their seats, watching the film and being engrossed. They weren't bored, they weren't off doing something else, they weren't in the arcade or anything like that, no. They were watching the film because they were truly and legitimately entertained and fascinated by the story and the characters and the vivid, unique, and well thought out world and a plot within it. I want to say Zootopia is an animation masterpiece. It really is. It may have its problems. It has a typical moments there of a buddy cop movie, and I found the first 5 minutes a bit hard to swallow, but I loved this film. Loved it. It's very, very much this and Kung Fu Panda 3 are very much neck and neck, with Deadpool still being my favorite of the year so far. But in the end, that's just my thoughts, everyone. I really do hope you enjoy it, and stick around in the future for more videos. As always, for this, everyone, thank you for everything, and I'll see you in the future for more videos as always. Till then, bye. Yeah. I don't know when. I'm thinking of a movie. I don't know yet. Till then, I'm just contemplating what movie I should see next. Till then, everyone, bye. I wish you all the best. And before I end, if you were in Zootopia, what animal would you be and why? That's an interesting question I'm going to ask. What animal are you? What I would be? I'd be a wolf. Till then, everyone, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the future as always. Till then, I'm Jack, and I'm signing out.